Alright, yo, what's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. So, a couple of days ago I was standing in front of a red light and I decided not to filter forwards, which was a big mistake because the light went green and a little bit later a couple of cars passed and it went red again, so I stood in front of it again. That made me really regret not filtering, and it also made me think about the stupidity of the entire thing. You know, it's completely unnecessary for anyone to stand in front of a red light twice, because the technology exists to make the flow of traffic, you know, go faster. Everything is completely possible to go, you know, better than in that situation, because there is technology that can detect whether someone is standing in front of a red light or not, and even if there's someone coming up to the lights, you know, that exists. Let's go. So I'm not gonna make the same mistake right here. I'm going to, oh shit, no, I can't. That's too close. So yeah, it exists. Wow, nice. BMWs, man. So the technology that can detect whether someone is standing in front of it or not is detection loops. Right here was a detection loop, and those, like right here again, and those are wires that are cut inside of the asphalt, and they create a magnetic field. So if someone with a metal cage is standing on top of that, it disrupts that metal field, that magnetic field, and so it is detected that someone is standing there or not, and that triggers the lights to go green if possible. So that's that, but it doesn't really make traffic flow better, because you have to stand in front of the light anyway. Have you ever had a light that, you know, goes red whenever you go a little bit too fast? And that's because of a little radar that is placed in front of it. And shall I? Whatever. And that detects how fast you are going, and it triggers the light to go red. See this? This is one of those lights. The sensor right there picked up that someone of those two was driving too fast, and because of that we got ourselves a red light. Thank you very much, technology. So the technology to detect if someone is coming up to the light exists. So why is it not used to make it go green if possible, you know? With detection loops with the red light, so they can detect if no one is standing there, and if someone is coming up that has a red light, it can be detected by the radar and trigger the light to go green before you get up to the light. So it's completely possible to install all of that, but then I ask myself, why is it not used more? Well, why is it not used at all? And that has probably to do with money. It probably costs a lot to make all of that happen, and yeah. So maybe there's other solutions, and in my opinion there is one big, really good solution, and those are roundabouts. So what does a roundabout really offer? And that is continuous flow of traffic. Firstly, there's a couple of reasons why those roundabouts are better than intersections, but a big one is the flow of traffic. It is increased. You don't have to wait if there is no one there. You can just go whenever there's any room. So traffic flow is increased. Roundabouts can take a lot more cars and bikes and all kinds of road users per hour than when compared to an intersection, and also it's a bunch safer than an intersection. Why? Because you can pass an intersection at any speed you want. You know, if you gotta go straight, you can just gas it and go. And if there's an accident, then it's immediately a serious one. While at a roundabout, you are forced to slow down. You gotta take corners, and so you gotta slow down. So that makes that if there is an accident, it's a less serious one compared to one on an intersection. And also because you're already driving or riding slower, there are less accidents because you observe more. Because as you all know, if you go faster, you got that tunnel vision going, so you notice less things from the side and stuff like that, and you can react just as fast, but a lot of distance is covered if you go a little bit faster and all that. But that's a different story. So yeah, it's also safer than intersections. And another added benefit is if there's power outages, an intersection doesn't function anymore and there's pretty much chaos, while a roundabout just keeps functioning as they always do. So that's good. Of course, that's awesome. And also it doesn't need electricity, so it's better for all of us. We don't have to pay more and more taxes to install all kinds of technology. So it's cheaper. There we go. Nothing but benefits. So that made me think about why on earth are there still intersections being installed instead of roundabouts? And that is probably because of two reasons, I think. And that is, firstly, money. It's always about money. At every intersection is the opportunity to place a radar, to place a camera that can give fines for all kinds of reasons. So that is a source of income. Well, at the roundabout, there's not really an opportunity to do so. Let's stand on top of this right there. Awesome. And secondly, traffic lights offer the control, the control of traffic situations is external to the drivers, and so the control is probably another reason, because nowadays people can't drive. You gotta be able to use a roundabout, and these days, man, there's so many aids inside of a car. There's so many stupid people on the roads. Maybe it's not a good idea to put roundabouts because all the control is with the road users, There's no external control right there. It's completely up to the skills of the ones using it. So maybe that's another reason why it's not used, So yeah, I don't know, man. I wish there were more roundabouts. It would make a lot of sense, But yeah, so that's my thought on this. Comment down below with your opinions on the matter. And see you in the next one. Ride safe. Laters.